Okay, this is part 2 of Lefty the Mustang. Here I have him with a rope around his neck already. I used the lunging whip to get this rope around his neck. I attached it to the lunging whip and then I pulled it around his neck. Now I have a big knot on this rope right there so it can't go through the loop and choke him. This way it'll only pull so far. Now I'm kind of going to get him used to this rope and trying to get him to give me a little bit of pressure. And he's trying to follow a little bit, which is really good. So he's starting to learn a little bit. He'll probably know how to lead before I actually start teaching him how to lead right. But right now I pick up my stick because I need to give him some rubs. My main goal here, my main purpose here is to try to get this halter off of him because it's starting to dig into him, and nobody's been able to get this halter off. So that's what I'm here to do. And so we're just going to give him a little bit of time here, and I'm going to try to rub him and try to get a little closer to him. But Lefty, he likes to kick. Apparently, maybe that's why they call him Lefty. But anyways, he's all right. He just doesn't understand what's going on, and he's kind of got a little bit dominant here. So I made this little corner right here where he stands. I made that kind of a safe haven for him. I let him stand there, and I try not to do too much with him when I'm there. But as you can see, he's really flinchy. As I'm rubbing, I'm trying to get my hand up there. I'm trying to distract him with the stick while I get my hand up to his mane so I can touch him. That's the first time he's been touched. And you can see he's kind of not liking it. You can see him flinching a lot. He really doesn't trust me at all at this point, really. And, you know, I got a little bit too far into his space, so he had to get out of there. I'm using the rope more so that I can desensitize him to his neck and head, just so that I can go ahead and get my hand up there by the halter area. And I'm playing different tricks with him. Right there you see me kind of put my stick up to the front there so I could touch his nose and his face, so he'd get used to that real quick. Now I'm getting back to his mane. This is about the second time I'm able to touch him. And so I'm still playing with him. This takes a lot of patience, trying to get that rope up there. I'm just moving this rope up and down there just so that he can get the feel of something being moved right there in that area, because that's the area where the halter's at. And I don't want him to realize that I'm just going for that halter, because if I start going for that halter, he'll start evading me, and then I won't be able to touch the halter. So right there I just kind of let him off the pressure. But what I don't want him to do, and I kind of hung on to him, is I didn't just want him to drag me all over the place whenever he decided to. And I'm going to go ahead and put him right back to his safe spot. And we're going to start all over again. Like I said, this takes lots of patience. You got to kind of know what you're doing, because if you don't, he could run through the fence with me. I mean, he could really hurt himself really bad if I don't watch out, because he's pretty flighty. He's been around humans, but nobody's really been able to do anything with him other than put a halter on him. They put a halter on him at the BLM when they picked him up, and he's had this halter on since. So right now I'm getting pretty close to that halter. As you can see, my hand is starting to touch the halter now, and I'm going to go ahead and see if I can try to get the halter loose. But whenever I get my hand up there, I find that halter is hard as a rock, and I'm trying to use every effort I can to unfasten that halter before he flies. Right now he's giving me the time to do it, but my hand is kind of unable to do it. It's just too tough, and he evades me, kind of runs off right there for just a second. So I'm bringing him back now, and so I got him right back in the area again. He's learned a lot. He's learned how to accept the rope. He's pretty well accepted the rope. You've seen me throw the rope right there on the ground. He didn't fly. You've seen in part one, you've seen him flying around all over the place whenever I was throwing that rope. That was the reason I was doing it, so I could get to this point. Everything I was doing was so I could build up to this. And now I've been able to build up to this. Now, I still can't get that halter off, so I'm trying to figure out another way. And I know I need to get another closer, and I'm going to have to use my other hand to do this. So I try to give it one last effort, thinking just maybe by luck, some type of luck, I could get it off of there with that one hand. But it's not going to happen. The halter's just too hard. So what I'm doing here is I'm just dropping my stick, and he's going to bolt. You've seen my stick drop. So I just let him go. I picked up the rope here again, and I'm going to put him back in the position again. There, I got him right back to where he was. Now this time I'm going to use both hands. Instead of using the stick, I'm going to use both of my hands to get that halter off. Right there, I'm kind of rubbing him, and I have to position my body right, because he has to have an out in case he wants to run by me. For me, it's all right if he runs by me. But he does have to have an escape, otherwise he'll freak. He'll panic. He'll hit the panic button if he doesn't have an escape. So, okay, you see my hand is just like the stick, just rubbing, and there I able to get my other hand up there to take this halter off. Now, this halter was really kind of stiff and hard to get off of there. But you can see whenever I unattach it, you'll see his head flinch. See how his head flinched right there? He felt it. And so now what I'm going to do is, and I really hope that he doesn't bolt on me, is try to get this halter off really nice and easy, so he doesn't really realize that it's taken off and he can bolt and run away. I just kind of wanted him to know that it's all okay, and I rubbed him even with a halter in my hand. This way, whenever I go to catch him, the next time I'm not going to have too much of a problem. He's not going to be all flighty from the halter. Giving him his rubs and everything. And I'm going to have to move away here just a little bit to let him relax or de-stress. So there I walk away and let him de-stress. Then I come back, and I'm going to go ahead and take my lead rope off that I had on him. And also again, I don't want him to just bolt whenever I take it off. I'd like him just to stand nice and still. But as you can see, he's really flighty. I mean, and he really uses that left leg to try to kick you. But he's starting to get less and less aggressive with it. So I'm going to just ask him to move around to kind of to de-stress him right there, because otherwise he's just going to run off by himself. I'd rather him do something I'm asking than him just take off bolting by himself. And when we get to the point here, I'm going to try to rub him again. And you know, he's in this fight-flight mode, so, but it's calmed down quite a bit. It's not as bad as it used to be. He's starting to pay a little bit more attention to me here. You can see he's got his ear on me now, and he's kind of wanting to see what I'm doing, what I'm going to do. So this is probably the first time anybody's really rubbed on him or touched him. So he really doesn't understand what's going on here, and he's protecting himself, really. And now I'm probably going to ask him to move his hindquarters here just a little bit, because those hindquarters are just a little bit offensive to me. You know, I'm working on that rope, but I'm watching his back end. He's still a little bit on the defensive. See, he's still jumpy. But at least he's not bolting whenever I take that lead line off. You know, he didn't quite bolt. So I'm going to ask him to move his hind end now. So there we go. See, get him to move that hind end away. See, and he's learned how to move his hind end away really nice. He doesn't try to charge me or anything. So that's pretty good. But he's still got a little problem, so he kind of had to relieve the stress there, but that's all right. Put him back in his corner again, and I'll go ahead and ask him to move that back end, and then I'll Give him a little bit of rubs. And he's still, still a little flinchy right there. And he's still pointing that back end at me. There he goes. Now he's nice about it. And so that's about it. Just a lot of nice rubs, and we'll take it from there.